Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is Jamar here once again.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar here once again, and we are here to discuss this week's episode of Rupaul's Drag Race Season 12, episode... Shit, what episode are we on, child? Is this 10? I'm pretty sure this is 10. I'll know in the description. But this is the Superfan Makeover episode. So this is the one that we, most people look forward to kind of see how they're going to style these different people. And I'm so glad to see that these young ladies were able to come onto their favorite show. It's always great to see, somebody who's a fan of something or someone be able to go into that environment and kind of see their whole faces light up. So it was really, really nice and fun to see these young ladies participate in the show. So without further ado, let me just adjust this right here. Put this down. We're gonna go ahead and talk about RuPaul's Drag Race, the Superfan Makeover now. So there's 6 contestants left, and so we get 6 different superfans, all of which are biological women, all of different races, it seems. And 2 of which that I want to talk about, well, one in particular is Heidi, who got paired with Nicole. And Nicole is, of course, a bigger woman. She's an African-American woman, and she talked about how she wasn't really comfortable like showing her legs or showing any other parts of her body because, she was often teased and bullied. And her story is a great way for people to see how your words can affect people, and particularly in this drag race community. Every year, there's always a girl who gets bullied online to the point where she has to make some sort of a statement or, some drastic thing happens. And I never understand why these people go on these people's pages and say all these mean and nasty things to them and then be surprised when they get backlash. I'm telling, words really affect people. And, Nicole's story about how she used to be bullied because of her size, and I'm sure she probably have faced some sort of colorism in the past as well. I'm glad that we're able to, be there to support her and showcase her story so people can see how the things that you say and the things that you do affect people. So we're giving Nicole lots of love and light today. So love you, baby. So after all the table run-throughs, RuPaul says, one last thing. There always has to be some twist, child. He says that all of the superfans are gonna have to lip sync for their lives. I'm like, okay, but wait. What does this mean? Because I'm thinking, if y'all remember, what was that, season 7, when it was Ginger Minj and Sasha Belle were paired together as conjoined twins, and Tempest DuJour and Jaden Dior Fierce were conjoined together as twins. I'm thinking that they're gonna have whoever's in the bottom 2 have their superfans lip sync with them in some sort of capacity. That's what I was thinking, and I'm like, that sounds messy, but I'm here for it. It'll be exciting. Rehearsals. So Crystal and their partner Grace come out first, and she's just so excited to be there. She's just enjoying and soaking up the entire moment. And her and Crystal do kind of resemble each other as far as a vibe. It's hard to really describe what that vibe is, but you see it. Once you know it, you see it. And she was just so happy and so much fun and just really soaking into the moment. So it really brought out great energy on the stage. And Jada followed by with her partner of Miss Bethany. Now, Miss Bethany, the way that she was talking, if y'all have ever worn high heels, actual high heels, y'all know it is painful. I honestly don't know how these girls, and even just girls who perform regularly, do all these different shows and these different shoes, and I'm just oof. I try to put them on. I think the longest I've ever worn heels is when I'm at DragCon, and I think I wore them from the time I got there to maybe 3 or 4 hours in. By then, I'm look, my knees are buckling, my feet are wobbling, I can't even feel my toes. So I understand what Miss Bethany was talking about. But I mean, like Jada said, look, You have to ignore it. You have to push on through. And I mean, usually like when you're feeling the moment, especially like usually like when I'm drag con, I'm usually drunk. So I am kind of distracted from the pain, but usually once that sobriety kicks in, it's like, okay, bitch, my feet hurt. But I look good though. Mirror moments. There really wasn't a lot of mirror moments in this particular episode. There was just a lot of, crazy fun banter between the girls. I really liked Janet the Planet. She was very interesting. She shared her story about how she's usually, she's a taller woman, so everybody thinks like, oh, she's a man, and so she found family or some sort of belonging within the drag community, and it's really, really fun, and it makes me feel good on how drag can be interpreted in so many different ways and how much joy it does bring to people and how it gives people feeling of belonging when they don't really feel like they belong in a heteronormative society. So I love that she actually changed her name to Janet the Planet. Like, that's so dope. And that she has this mindset. I hope that because we're broadcasting this on such a large platform that other people are able to adapt that same mindset and feel like they can come to the community of drag to find their tribes. So Jada shared that she's been with her boyfriend for over 12 years, and he is like her biggest cheerleader. He always supports her, comes out to her shows, and it's so awesome to know. It's really, I can just imagine, because of course I'm hopelessly single. Hopefully that will change soon. But, I can imagine how much support can mean to somebody. Like, even though you have all these different people that you're trying to get validation from, and you're trying to impress all these different people, it's good to know that there's always that one person when you leave at the end of the day that's going to be there in your corner, have your back. And she got emotional, like, because they're in isolation during this competition. They're in like a high pressure cooker, and when you don't have like that support system behind you, it can make you feel, somewhat alone and emotional. So I'm glad that she was able to share that with us, because Jada's been like very strong this entire competition. Like, she's been, hasn't really shown that much of a sensitive side. We know that she's funny, we know that she's, quick-witted, so it's good to see her in this different light. And it was funny how when Gigi and Nicole, well, Gigi's daughter, BB Bad, and Nicole, which is gonna be Honey Almighty later on, how they really showed their face, like how excited that they got. Like, that is the funnest part. Like, if you're a makeup artist, and because I've been able to do this a couple of times as well, it still takes practice. When you show somebody, like, and they get in full geesh, and they get that whole sense of like, I have a whole new face that's more glam than it's ever been, like, it feels so amazing. Like, giving somebody that experience, it gives you just like a feeling of just joy, at least for me, like you did something for them and it made them happy. So seeing that kind of excitement and reaction on their faces was so dope. Moving on to the runway. So as you know from last week, we're going to try and continue to try this whole side-eye, salute, sickening rating system. Again, if you give a side-eye, if you give the side-eye, you know what that means. So a salute is like, I appreciate what you did a good job, I acknowledge you. And the sickening is, bitch, you ate it, you pissed on it, you shat it out, and you just wore it out. So onward to the runways. First up, we had Miss Heidi and Honey Almighty. What's it called? Heidi Aphrodite and Honey Almighty. Now, Miss Heidi, I love you down. You know I love you down, but this was not it. This was not it on any front. It was great that, Miss Honey was able to feel her fantasy for the first time and really gain that confidence that she'd been missing for years. But I was like, why you didn't give her something? Like, even if she was gonna have her, because I feel like I just didn't like the fabric. The colors weren't even complimenting each other. If you wanted to keep her legs out, like, you could have given her just something more shimmery, something, because it made like the fabric just made her look dull. Like, it made the outfit just look dull, and she's supposed to be, having this confidence that her legs are out. Like, she could have had something more shimmery, something that was a little bit more brighter, more colorful. I don't know, it just felt very, muted. And I mean, Heidi looked like she was from the disco, but it was like all on her and nothing really left for her daughter. And I feel like that's what kind of made it seem like there was no real family resemblance. But her makeup did look good. And even like Michelle said, it did look better than Heidi's that time. But I mean, Heidi's outfit wasn't bad, but I just felt like, there was so much more that could be done to it. So Heidi definitely get a side eye. Sorry, girl. Next up, we had Jackie and Little Snacky Cox. I mean, it was all right or whatever. Like, I mean, it was kind of like on the nose, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. It wasn't bad. Like, I can't say that it was bad, but it didn't really stand out to me. I think that's the best way to put it. It didn't really stand out to me. But so, because it's not bad enough for a side eye, but it's definitely far from sickening, we salute you, Miss Jackie. Jada Essence Hall and Miss Jazz Essence Hall, baby, like, we was worried about her because she was like, I can't really walk in heels. She was kind of fumbling a little bit, but she pulled on through. Like, you could tell that she was feeling it. She was like, ooh, I'm just giving you, ooh, I got my feathers. I'm just giving you a little over the shoulder. Like, she was, and she was painted too. Like, Jada paints, okay? And then her outfit was sickening. Like, it was bedazzled, there was jewels, there was feathers, there was just like it was drag. Like I felt like I find myself every week just start standing for Jada Essence Hall and everything that she does, because like she's funny, she's stylish, she's a pageant girl, and she's my pick to win. I'm just gonna put it out there, she's my pick to win. And her and this Runway, her and her daughter, and Magnifique. Crystal Method and Opal Method. Oh my God. Now let me tell you, I was worried. Crystal, I was worried because I was just like, what is this paint? Where is she going with this? But when she came out and they was doing like a take on Bert and Ernie, I'm like, oh, her mind. I loved everything about it. And like Opal, like, was living the fantasy. You could tell she was having an amazing time. Like, the whole time they were having this great choreography going back and forth, even though, you know, it's kind of like the unspoken truth that Bert and Ernie were kind of secretly lovers. So they played up on that a little bit. Like, just the whole styling of it, it was like, it was so dope. Sherry Pie. Next up, we had Miss Gigi Good and Miss BB Bad. I mean, the names, you had to, you know, play some sort of wordplay with good. Like, you had to. And I mean, what other word could you do than bad? So, and then Gigi's partner was already a pretty girl. Like, and then when she turned around and she showed her, she was pretty, but it wasn't, I don't want to disregard her work and, like, you know, the outfit, because I mean the outfit was cute, but it felt simple. Like, she didn't really have to do as much to make her look like her, because Gigi's naturally a pretty drag queen, so she uses a lot of her, you know, natural features to make herself look good, as opposed to Crystal, who kind of draws all of her features on. So it's not as far of a stretch, but at the same time, it was still very stylish. I did love their choreography though. I did love like the story that they were telling. They were supposed to be like really competitive sisters, and they were like pushing her, and I was actually surprised that Gigi didn't fall off stage. It looked like Gigi was about to fall off stage, but I mean, other than that, it was good. It was a salute. So when it came to the critiques, the only thing that I wanted to think about or wanted to talk about is that I'm so surprised that I didn't think of, when it came to Heidi, that they suggested, like, why didn't you paint a gap on her? Like that, like, she has played to the gap this entire season, and she didn't think to put a gap on her door. I'm like, oh my God. That was such a missed opportunity. I'm sure she was kicking herself in the head for that. So before they declare a winner of the challenge, they asked all of the super fans to lip sync for their lives. I'm like, okay, how is this gonna work? And I'm seeing them like starting to pair each other up 2 by 2. I'm like, oh child, this is just fan service, but you know what, we'll watch. Baby, they was doing the Rupaul song, You Wear It Well, which is random that they picked that random song, but be that as it may. Everybody was doing their thing, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If there was a winner for that whole lip sync thing, it would have definitely been Miss Opal Method. Miss Opal was giving you everything. She was giving you comedy. She was utilizing her hair and just giving, like, that was what I did. I want to see that again, purely for Opal. So, to no surprise to anyone, Jada wins the challenge. Love us some just Miss Jada Essence Wall. And the bottom 2 ended up being Miss Heidi in Closet and Miss Jackie Cox again. Now, Miss Jackie's been the bottom 2 weeks in a row now. And so they're doing Alex Newell's Kill the Light song. And they had 2 different interpretations of the song. Heidi was doing a traditional, you know, dance, disco, you know, high energy. And Jackie, I felt like Jackie was giving a reference that I just didn't know. And I want to say that Michelle mouthed it, but I couldn't really see it. It was really fast, but I feel like she was, because it was like she was deranged almost. And I'm like, I mean, I get it, but I'm like, I don't understand. It wasn't bad, but it was just kind of like, I feel like this is just a reference that I'm missing. But they both turned it out. Honestly, like Heidi and them long disco sleeves, you like whoosh. Like it was really fun to watch. Like these past 2 lip syncs have been great so far. And Heidi's name got called, and I really, for like a hot second, I'm like, oh, so Jackie really went home. They really sent Jackie home after, well, well, because I mean, Heidi's lip synced a few times. I'm like, I thought they would have probably sent her home by now, but no, she's still here. Then, you know, Jackie started to get really emotional. And when she said, Shantae, you both stay, I was like, okay, I'm here for this, because I didn't want Jackie to leave yet anyway. I felt like Jackie definitely has more that she can give. So she really broke down and cried, and it was such a joyous to see. And I'm happy to see her back into the competition now. Next week, at least for the mini challenge, we finally get the puppet challenge. So definitely looking forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching this episode review. If this is the first time that you're watching, I hope you subscribe, like, and comment on the video so we can discuss. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.